It's just like crazy George Foreman.
And George used to say crazy stuff, though,
which
too.
Is fine.
Yeah, sometimes he left
Andre doesn't. Andre doesn't. In the first fight of a three-fight night, Dani Nietes, who's been champion for, 450 years, he has been.
It's weird how they find these guys on.
Right? 14 years defending the IBF championship. By the way, this isn't new in the flyweight divisions. It isn't. We used to joke about this stuff 10 years ago. There was a guy out of Thailand. There was a guy out of Japan. WBO. There was the guy, Azuma. What was Azuma Nelson's weight, for God's sakes?
He was of a 130. He was featherweight.
All right. We're still down there, though. I mean, these little lightweights, once they get a hold of a title, they don't have any competition. You know why?
You're looking at more like a Ricardo Lopez. Remember Ricardo flyweight? He held on to the title for years. Retired undefeated. I mean, yeah, but really never fought out of his division. Stuff like that, Lee. Yeah,
I completely agree. Light flyweights, you guys, most of you listening to this show will never remember a name like Michael Carbajal. Bob Arum made him famous. Michael Carbajal actually sold out fight cards in Vegas by himself as a light flyweight. I mean, this
one. Well, he's the first $1 million fighter at those divisions, isn't he? I believe Carbajal, Chiquita Gonzalez is the first $1 million fight at that weight. Mm-hmm.
Nice job, Andrew. Nice drop there, Andrew. Much better than Max Kellerman, who just says crazy shit. You know what? I'm almost convinced Max Kellerman doesn't know shit about boxing. I mean, I used to joke about it. He's just a closet nerd who got onto TV into a great role. No, you really don't know shit about boxing. You don't.
This is going to be a long show, people.
I'm over it. I don't know if anybody else.
We've known it about Max for a while, Lee. You know? I don't know. And it's never going to get better. I can tell you right now, Roy Jones and him are coming to the end. It seems like they're bumping heads a lot more than they used to.
You know why? You know why? And it's going to happen with Andre Ward.
You get tired of it.
You get tired of it. Why do I want you to keep... You know what? This was my favorite in the first fight. You know what, Andre? Dani Nietes reminds me of Andre Ward.
And I'll tell you the number one thing that he does, people, that I think gets under these other guys' skin is he tells them, "Don't you agree?" with his opinion.
Right.
And most of the time, that's when you hear the pause. Well, you're sort of right, but you always get it from Roy, you get it from Andre. It's never like, "Oh, Max, you're right on. I agree with everything you're saying right now." No, and that's what he does the most, and I think it pisses these guys off because he's kind of pressuring them.
It's a chain of events, and you can watch it. Go back and watch it, everybody. He makes the comparison to Dani Nietes' movement to Andre Ward, to which Jim Lampley jumps onto towards the middle stages or the end of the fight, where he makes the comment that Max Kellerman says that he looks like, Andre Ward. He goes, "No, Jim, just a little portion of what he corrected it so as to not piss off Andre Ward, because Dani Nietes is not even in the same stratosphere of Andre Ward. What he does is he's a disruptive fighter, right?
Yeah, I thought he's just a good boxer, puncher.
Which is very much what Andre Ward does. It was actually for
Andre
a rarity.
Ward was an ugly
I'm going to give
fighter.
Mark this day in history. March 25th, 9:39 a.m. Max Kellerman was right about one thing. Dani Nietes is a disruptive fighter, and that is something that Andre Ward does. Now, the reason Max Kellerman made that assessment is because Andre Ward said Dani Nietes is a disruptive fighter. Fuck people.
Oh, come on. All right.
Fuck people. And then by the time it gets to Jim Lampley, it's like telephone. Well, Kellerman said Nietes looks like Ward. No, I didn't, Jim. Get it right. Fucking people.
All right.
It's either that or I listen to a soccer game while I watch the fight. I mean, honestly, I'd watch Skybox if I could pump it in. Those guys lay back and barely talk over the fight. They don't. You can barely tell. They've got the telecast going, and it's almost like secondary. they've got Ricky Fatton or somebody else with them. And did I say Fatton? I meant to say Fatton, by the way. That was a funny joke. Donnie Nieto stops Juan Carlos Reveco in the 7th, which is 6 rounds too many in my humble opinion. The Philippines, Donnie Nieto displayed offensive firepower by knocking out Juan Carlos Reveco, who isn't even ranked and was really a big pile of dog shit in the ring. He was a punching bag to Donnie Nieto for 7 straight rounds. Wait, I'll give the commentary. I watched it. The fight was, in fact, so lopsided and so bad of watching Nieto just keep constantly moving, shifting, and really looking quite fantastic. I'm not going to say anything bad about the dude. He's an amazing IBF champion, right? He's been champion for whatever the crazy quote is, like 10 years, 14
that
years.
Was that was the WBO title that he held for that long. The IBF he just picked up like last year or something like that. He has 2 defenses on the IBF.
He literally fought a guy who was at the end of his career, right? Who's 4-3 in his last 7 bouts. It still took him 7 rounds to take the dude out.
Yeah, Lee, not a power puncher, but breaks you down technically. Very good combinations, places his punches well. I don't have anything bad to say about the guy other than where have you been?
He should have taken him out quicker.
Been? You're 40. No, 7 rounds is a good fight in a championship bout. There's nothing wrong
Against
with
the guy
7
who's
rounds.
4-3 in his last 7 fights. Come on, Andrew. You've been champion.
He's fighting the champ though, and when you fight the champ, when you fight a guy who's 41-1, most of the time you bring your A game. So the fact that he got him out of there in 7 rounds, to me, is not a knock. There's nothing wrong. And especially, I watched the fight. The dude's dominating. He's breaking him down. You knew it was going to end. I never thought that was going the distance, and it didn't. It was a good fight.
All right, I'm going to tell you why I'm pissed off about the fight. I'm going to tell you why I'm pissed off about the fight. And I'm pissed off. The fight was so lopsided that it forced Jim Lampley and Max Kellerman to riff.
Jeez.
And talk about anything
but
but boxing.
Into them again.
Oh, dude, it just
These
takes
guys. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, that's.
Dude, wait, you watch boxing with like normal humans, right?
Yeah, and I tune them out. That's why I can't keep up with you on the whole
but do
Jim
like
Lampley.
Regular people like Lampley and Kellerman?
No, I don't. I think
no. I mean like
for
regular
you.
people, like people who watch boxing. I'm going to explain who the most important person is in boxing today. It's me. No, this is legit. I'm the legit buying unit, right? I'm 49 going on 50. I have the money to pay for the seats.
No, that's an old argument. I'm not going to allow you to keep saying boxing's old. We are dominating again.
No, we're dying.
Boxing.
We're dying of old age.
There is boxing everywhere. There's boxing on ESPN. There's boxing on Spanish television. There's boxing in the UK.
I'm not saying there aren't a lot of us.
Oh, Lee, will you stop, dude? That's an old argument, bro.
Really? You think there are parties on Saturday night where guys are getting together in their 20s to watch boxing, like they do for fight night on Fox Sports 1?
No, but guys at home, yes. No, I don't think there's barbecues.
I'm telling you, when I was in my 20s,
on May 5th, there will be barbecues all over. Matter of fact, on different places of the world, too. We'll be stopping to watch the fight on May 5th. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, but that's May 5th.
Give me one UFC fight that can do that. What UFC fight is touching everywhere?
It's not. And I'm not making that argument, Andrew. I'm saying that back in the 90s, okay, do you know where you were when you saw, and it was on Showtime. We were just talking about this last week, right? Greatest 12th round of all time. Why am I drawing a blank now?
Greatest 12th round.
Died in a motorcycle accident. Come on.
Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo.
Yes. Do you know where you were when you saw that fight the first time?
Yes. Yeah,
so do I.
So do I.
I know what living room I was in, and I remember dragging other people in to watch that fight because we had a party going in the next room. It was that good a fight. Like, we don't have that shit happen anymore. Like, the best aren't fighting the best every Saturday night. Like, we're not jacked up anymore. 10 years ago, Andrew, are you and your friends still getting together, pre-kids?
Lee, they're doing record-breaking numbers. I can't agree with you right now. Lee, do you remember the 2 years we've just had? Do you know in the UK they're doing million sales right now, right?
What do you
That's
think?
something that their pay-per-view
Last night was actually a good fight card. Wait, hold on. Last night was actually a pretty good fight card, right?
And it was a great crowd.
Calm down. It was East LA because it was $20. I'm not gonna be a dick about this. It's $20 a seat, Andrew.
It doesn't matter. At least they showed up. They
only had to fill 1,000 seats.
I guarantee you, they're going to pay $50 for the rematch of that main event. Did you see how many fans Juan Estrada had there? Where did this dude come from?
Nobody knew Juan Estrada. They showed up because he was Mexican.
No, he actually beat Cuadras, and Cuadras had a great fight with Gonzalez in the same arena,
that
the same
was
area,
strictly about an East Los Angeles crowd that is a boxing crowd.
Well, they showed up last night. I'm giving.
Dude, I'm in a city. I live in a city. Listen. I live in a city that is predominantly Hispanic. I'm not being shitty about it. That's just a fact. That's okay.
Yes.
Okay, and they're boxing fans. They talk boxing with me. I do jujitsu with guys that are middle-aged, that are boxing fans, that actually go to the fights. Okay?
Yeah, last night they showed up. That was awesome. I couldn't believe Estrada had that kind of a turnout for that fight.
Because they didn't know Estrada. They didn't know Estrada. They knew where Estrada was from.
There you go, saying Mexican sports fans are dumb again.
I'm not saying that. No. I'm not saying that at all.
Lee, you just said they don't know Estrada.
Dude, he has no backstory. Look, I don't want to break it to you. We still don't really know shit about Rungvisai, the champion, other than he showed up and beat Chocolatito. And
twice.
Everybody's living on...
that puts you on top of the world, bro.
I get it.
They have an old saying, when it rains, it pours.
I'm sorry.
You knock out...
I'm sorry. Where was Chocolatito 5 years ago when he was quote-unquote champion? Where was he?
Still a champ and still undefeated.
Right.
I don't know where you're going with that.
Was he headlining cards at the StubHub Center 5 years ago?
Oh, when it rains, it pours. Do you understand that?
No. When you run out of fighters, you start to plumb for the bottom. I'm not saying these guys aren't great fighters, and I'm not saying they aren't great fights. But this isn't. I'm sorry. It's not Barrera.
Last night, awesome.
It's
not.
Night
had me out of my chair in my living room.
Do you realize HBO is looking
on him?
You know that HBO, Andrew. You know that HBO would throw all of these guys to the wolves if they could find the next Prince Nassim Hamed. They would. Doesn't matter how the guy can box. It's whether or not the guy can get viewers.
They are getting views. Did you see it?
What do you think that this is going to do? What do you think this is going to do view-wise?
The thing got good reviews. I don't know why we're doing this.
No, it got great reviews. I'm not shitting on the fights. Look. I admit, I'm shitting on Lampley, and I'm shitting on Kellerman.
I believe Kevin Iole wrote that this was a Fight of the Year candidate. I thought it was. Lee, that 12th round was awesome.
The second fight of the night, I thought was the fight of the night. For those of you who don't know, let's get on to the fight. Yeah. Yes. Cuadras versus Arroyo is an amazing fight.
Yeah, that guy Arroyo was boxing his ass off, man.
And don't get me wrong, I think at some point, I've run into Arroyo. I forget where I ran into him in Vegas, but I don't really forget faces. Like, I've interviewed him. I want to even say that I interviewed the kid.
I gotta say, sometimes I think you get the Larry Merchant syndrome. You've seen too much sometimes, bro, and these things aren't making you excited anymore. But that was a hell of a fight.
No. Okay, the second fight of the night. Okay, let's get past Donnie Nietes, who has nobody to fight for a while.
Yeah, that's the problem there.
Okay, they're building up, what is it, Shynggyskhan or whatever the dude's name is. That's going to be the big fight for Donnie Nietes.
And
that's his
like
money
35,
fight.
So it's like, where do you go with him?
Sorry, his... butchering Japanese names. Inoue is his big fight. Okay, That's the money fight, but he's not ready, and I guarantee Bob's not going to rush it. But Donnie Nietes is getting built up nice and clean for a big-time fight. Now, in the second fight of the night, which will be Fight of the Year candidate, which was an amazing fight, McWilliams Arroyo from Puerto Rico on a 2-year layoff.